How's it going today, everybody? Mike 2K back again. Sorry it's been a little while, but today we are going to do more of a reaction type video as I know the draft was almost a week ago, but I've just kind of been extremely pissed off with it, so I've been trying to calm myself down long enough to have this conversation with you guys regarding the infamous trade the Bulls made on draft night, hence the reason there's going to be Bulls playing out online gameplay in the background. The Jimmy Butler trade. So, where do I begin with this fuck up of a situation? Okay, I guess let's just start with the trade itself and worry about individual players later. But as far as the trade itself, so you mean to tell me that the Chicago Bulls managed to give up, after giving up Derrick Rose last year and all the turmoil that caused? I mean, don't get me wrong, that trade, we got Robin Lopez out of it, so I guess it was, an okay trade. I mean, I guess we got what we could get for a injury-plagued, decent player. But for this trade, you mean to tell me that the top, let's be nice and call him top 15 to 20 player in the league. Excellent two-way player. Great on defense. Put up career numbers again this year. You mean to tell me that we got him for the number 7 pick, which I was excited about. I was excited about when I first heard it, because the original report was Jimmy for the 7th, Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine. So I was pretty content with that. So the number 7 pick, I was okay with that. We'll get back to that later though. Zach LaVine, who I honestly feel was thrown in kind of on potential, more on the fact that we can still, Bulls management can still sell tickets on the fact that he's a high flyer and young and athletic, so he'll sell tickets. He's not going to be a cornerstone of a team, but he'll be a decent, third option down the road, as he was in Minnesota, or maybe even a second option, but not the greatest on defense, real high athletic energy guy. And Chris Dunn, who is still fairly old for, well, I guess he's not a rookie anymore, quote-unquote second-year player, but still fairly up there. And looking at what he did last year, looked like a complete train wreck. Now, I'm not going to lie, last year when the trade rumors first came around last year that we were going to take the Timberwolves first-round pick, I was excited for Chris Dunn. He looked really promising coming out of college. But after last year, you mean to tell me we're going to take that much of a project? We couldn't have gotten Tyus Jones in that deal, who might be a very big project as well, and still not the greatest looking point guard. But at least he's younger, he would have more time to develop, and his contract's a couple mil cheaper. Chris Dunn's contract's about $4.3 million off the books. I mean, granted, with the salary cap these days, doesn't seem like a lot, but for a rookie contract of a guy that looked like hot garbage last year, a little bit concerning. Alright, I guess now we'll get back to the trade itself again, now that we've gone through the players. So, the original report did not mention anything about the Bulls' first round pick, so I was excited. I was like, alright, we can try and get some sort of a guard with the number 7 pick, and then at 16 we'll either get a guy that we can develop, like OG out of Indiana, who, I mean, granted, nobody's heard anything about his injury since pretty much it happened, but, I mean, young, athletic, I could work with that. Give him a chance to develop this year. This year we're not going to really be anything special anyway. Give him a chance to develop, and then we would continue on. Then, all of a sudden, I hear from ESPN as I'm watching the draft, no, the Bulls gave up the 16th overall pick in the Jimmy Butler trade, and we didn't get any sort of extra compensation for it. And especially in this year's draft. Last year's draft, I would have been fairly okay with giving up 16th overall pick. But this year's draft, with how deep it was, and the amount of youth available at 16, especially with how teams drafted this year, which really kind of surprised me, but you could have gotten a very decent player to either come off your bench or potentially start, depending on exactly how the rotations fell. Hell, we honestly probably could have gotten Lauri Markkanen at 16 at the rate that it was going. But no, we gave that up. So now to the actual pick. So I'm sitting there watching the board. Was hoping Darren Fox would fall. He didn't fall past the Kings, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping for that. So finally we get to the Bulls pick. I'm like, alright. Malik Monk's still on the board. Dennis Smith Jr. is still on the board. Frank Natilica's still on the board. There's all these young, explosive, athletic guards, as the Bulls claim they are trying to get younger. And then all of a sudden, I see the pick flash across, and it says Lauri fucking Markkanen. Now don't get me wrong. I understand people slept on Porzingis. I understand big men that can shoot are important. But you mean to tell me that Lauri fucking Markkanen, who looked like a sketchy-ass rebounder and a sketchy-ass defender, is somehow going to become a cornerstone for this Bulls franchise during this rebuild over Dennis Smith Jr., who I know has had injury problems, but at least he can handle the fucking ball, and at least he looks like a decent fucking defender who can at least do something for this goddamn team. But no. Bulls management has decided that this tall, scrawny-ass white boy is going to be the cornerstone of this team. Which is just fucking wonderful. Not to mention, at 16, that the Minnesota Timberwolves happen to take Justin Patton. No, I'm wrong. No, the guy's kind of raw on defense. But I was really looking forward to him being our backup center. As I was told, pretty much was everybody's almost consensus for the Bulls to take at 16. I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with an OG. Would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with the project and Harry fucking Giles. I didn't care. I just didn't think we had to give up the 16th overall fucking pick in the draft to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Considering the rumors at the trade deadline were we were going to get Brooklyn's first this year, Brooklyn's first next year, and a pick from Boston. How the fuck do you fuck that up that honest to godly bad? How the fuck is that humanly possible? So now I guess let me look at the direction of the Bulls, which I have no idea what the fuck it is. First things first. Fire fucking management. Garpax, both, just get rid of both of them. Piss me off. They need to fucking go. Give Fred a year. If Fred, I don't feel like, is developing players well, as now this team is supposed to be young and improved, fire his ass. We need people that can develop young talent. If he can't get it done, get his ass out of there. He no longer should be focused on a win-now situation. We need to fire his ass if he can't develop players. Now, as far as free agency, I feel we should go after young players, particularly not a fucking point guard, as we have 6 of them on the roster, but instead, younger. The one exception I will make to the younger statement is Andre Iguodala. Why? I feel he could start for us at the small forward. Give him a 1-year, $20 million contract. I don't give a shit. We need somebody there. And don't fucking sign Mirotic. You got enough stretch fours. Stop it. Stop it, Chicago. So, I'm highly disappointed in Chicago. It's going to be a rough season next year. I guess for my predictions, I'll go ahead and give them. I expect 35 wins. Dwayne Wade might have a couple of good games. Oh, that's the other thing. Why the fuck did Dwayne Wade side back? Why? It's just, I don't understand this team. I don't understand the direction. And so, of course, we're going to have to sign Rondo, which I'm not a big fan of, as we're trying to get younger, but apparently that's just not an option. So I guess I will leave my rant off there for today, as we will be doing more of like these podcast type with gameplay in the back discussions, I guess, or rants, if you want to call them that, in the future, as I really enjoy doing them with you guys, and I will kind of let you guys know my thoughts on free agency in the NBA and other things as far as trades or anything else that goes on, and maybe we will do like a season predictions one. So for this edition of Rants with Mike 2K, this has been Mike 2K, and I will see you guys